Good day, one and all. Take 3 on this video. StreamYard seems to be having some issues this morning with lag. I'm going to try to get through this. Let me know if you have any issues. I'm making a card today based on some products from GinaK that I got in yesterday's release. And there's the lag again. I'm using the Spring Clusters Stamp, Die, and Stencil set. I'm also using her new, one of her new colors, Blue Sky, in the ink and in the cardstock. My card will measure 10 inches by 7 inches, score it at the 5-inch line, fold it, and crease it with my bone folder. And then I'm using some white cardstock. For the inside, I have a piece of 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, but I'm going to corner punch this today. I have the GinaK punch I got a while back, and I'm just going to round the corners for my inside piece. Not something I usually do. But I thought I'd want to try that today. So that'll go on the inside, and I'm also going to stamp a little on there. For the outside, I have a piece of white, and I used the Waffle Flower 5x7 lacy layer die. This is the largest die in that set that's lacy. If you don't have it, that's okay. You can cut your own, maybe use decorative scissors. This measures 4 3/8 by 6 3/8. And then I used GinaK's Master Layouts 13 to cut some rectangular shapes. I did a white layer, blue layer. This measures 1 3/4 by 5 1/8. And then the inner white stitched layer is 1 5/8 by 5. Then the smaller rectangles in the blue, 3 5/8 by 2 1/4. And 2 by 3 1/2. And I'll set these pieces aside. I just had them out so you can see what they look like. One's stitched and one's not stitched. But you don't need to use those if you don't have them. All right, I'm going to get started. And I'll take the corner edge pieces here and put them in the bin. All right. And then I have a piece of white that I am going to stamp and then stencil and die cut on. So let me get started with the stamping. It'll be a couple of times stamping today. Once originally and then towards the finishing end. Now, on the piece that I corner rounded, I want to put a flower in there just because. And I thought this one would be nice across the top. This one I am not going to color. This is just going on the inside of the card. And it'll be at the top. And that way you can have your message underneath that. Now, I need to condition the stamp since I have not used it yet. Just rubbing your finger across it will work to get off the coating that comes on it from the factory. Then I'm going to use my VersaFine Clair Nocturne, and sorry for the reach, just to stamp it in black. Now you could color this in with a stencil if you wanted to, and I may later off camera, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to leave it black and white. That's perfect. Isn't that so pretty? And that will be on the inside of my card. Now, pardon me. I want to use this 3-piece flower. This one is the one I'm going to stamp, stencil, and die cut out. So I have a piece of white. This is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, simply because that's the size I cut them. But I'm only going to use this portion of it, so I'll save part of it for another stamping. And get the teddy towel out of the way. And I need to condition this one also. And again, I'm going to stamp it in the VersaFine Clair Nocturne. Just my favorite black. It works for a wide variety of things. And I'm going to give that another coat You see, you need to press a little firmer in the middle. Perfect. All right. Temporarily done with stamping. And now I'm going to cut this, just going to cut it in half with my scissors. And I'll save that piece to do something else with. Put the lid back on my ink. And now I'm going to stencil this. And I'm sticking to the blue theme today. I'm just going to get that a little damp. It helps the stickiness again. All right, now figure out how this stencil comes together. It has 3 parts. This is the one I want. Okay. Now this one doesn't appear, it definitely doesn't line up. No matter what I do here, that doesn't line up. So I think you need to do them individually, but let's see which one is which. Okay, so that one. Now I need to get sticky note because I want to cover up the other 2 flowers. And I better sticky all over with this one. I don't want to get ink where I don't want ink. I need this one. I don't have to use as many. That should do it. Now I'm going to use, let's see, I will use powder blue for this one. Get my blue brush. And I have an odd scrap here. Okay. Make sure there was nothing on it. I thought the powder blue would go nicely with the blue sky. I'm hoping. All right, so that's one flower. And that's a pretty color. Oh, and I see there was, and I better do that again because there was a little piece of plastic covering up this bottom portion. There we go. Okay, now let's see if this flower is this one. Might be this one. Yep, it's this one, I think. Now this one I'm going to do in the blue sky. Oh, and that is such a pretty blue. I think I will do this one also. So this one must be for down here. And I will do this one in the blue sky also. And then the bud I'll do in the powder blue. And I think I can behave myself and not have to use my sticky notes. All right. Now for the bud, get that lined up. And now this one I will use sticky notes. And I'm going to get the powder blue back out. And that one will be a combination of the blue sky and the powder blue. But the powder blue is darker, so it kind of fills it right in. And that is pretty. I'm just going to wipe this real quick with my tidy towel. And I'll rinse it off under the sink when I'm done. Okay, now, I need to do the leaves, but I don't want to get any blue on here. And if I'm correct, this one does all of the leaves at once. And it does. And I do need to sticky note down here. And over here. And here, just in case. Now, I'm going to use I like this Tim Holtz Bundled Sage since I've had it for a while and I just started using it the other day in a video. And I really like it. Oh, don't like it that much that I want it all over my desk. Okay, and I'm just going to do these in the Bundled Sage. And now I'm going to come in with a very small brush and add just a little bit. Now, that brush went under my desk, so let me grab another one. Jelly Bean Green, which is a little darker shade. And I'm just going to do that at the base of the flowers, stems, leaves. And that's not as dark as I would like it to be. Let me get the fresh asparagus. Hold on. Yeah, the Jelly Bean Green and the Bundled Sage were close in color. So I'm going to do fresh asparagus. There we go. And just add some like streaks just at the base of the leaf. And you can make them look striped. You could take a gel pen and add some feathering. Whatever you think your leaf would need. Yeah, so the Jelly Bean Green was almost the same color as Bundled Sage. And that's how that looks. But now for these berries, where is the stencil for that? Oh, I think it's this one. Yes. Now, what color do I want my berries to be? You know what? I am going to take my silver gel pen and I'm going to color these in with a silver gel pen. I just think blue and silver go very well together. Now lift that up and fill in a little bit wherever the pen didn't go under the stencil. That's perfect. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to set this aside to let that dry because of the gel pen. That's why I have to let it dry for just a minute. I am going to do a little bit more stenciling on the white pieces. I was thinking, not this one. This one has these little leaves. I want to do those in gray. I should say leaves, not leaves. Get my gray stencil brush, which it was just here a second ago. Ah, there it is. I'm just going to randomly put some light leafery. Just kind of adding a little bit of dimension. And you know, and I'll throw in a couple of these circles. Reminds me of my craft roulette challenge the other day, where I had to put in 3 circles. That just gives a little bit of detail to the background of that one. And I'm going to do the same on this one. To show you that you really don't need to use this stencil for just a flower. You can do a wide variety of things with it. Take each part and see, what can I do with that? All right. Okay, and I'll just dry that a little bit. Okay, stencils are aside because I am done stenciling for now. Okay, now I'm going to, this should be dry, and it is, so I'm going to die cut out my flower now. Okay, and I believe that is this one. And get it lined up just right. That looks good. And now I'll run it through my die cut machine. Oh, that's nice. I love how the die cuts just give you enough white around the edge. Okay, well, let me start assembling because I'm going to stamp a little bit more on this. I have to figure out how I want to put my card together. So let me get my inks out of the way so I don't accidentally ink myself up. Okay, card base, where'd you go? There it is. All right, and the inside is up here. Pardon my boarding house reach there. Now this is going to go on the inside of the card. Now you could easily color that in with the stencil to match, and I may do that. Now this is going to go here, and I'm thinking I want these, well, put together like this, and then this like that, with this coming off somehow here in the middle. But I want my words, and I want to use thinking of you and sending love. So I want to put thinking of you in this top corner. All right, now condition that stamp. And I'll do that in the Nocturne. Perfect the first time. It always surprises me when that happens, but I'm always pleased. And sending love. I want in this bottom corner. I don't want it right like smack in the corner. I'm putting it up just the littlest bit. And I can see by the lines on the top of my Misty that I have it relatively straight. I did not condition that one, so let's see how this one stamps. It stamped very well. That's one nice thing about this ink. You don't always have to condition. It's better if you do, but it'll work without it. Sometimes it takes a couple of stampings, but not always. Okay, done stamping. Now I'm going to put this together. This I want down flat. And sometimes I'll put a background behind this, like a shadow border. And I didn't want to do that today. I liked how the white looked on this blue. And I can see on my camera that this blue looks kind of aqua in here, but it really isn't. It's a bright powdered blue. Okay. Now these two pieces I want to put down flat. I get them glued together and get them fairly straight. All right. And I know I want that to be kind of centered. I'm just going to get my small stamping block here. Let's see if I can line that up. Get it fairly straight as I can. Now these next two pieces I want to pop up slightly. So I'm going to use some foam strips. Actually, I'll just use my roll of foam tape. This is a low loft tape, and it's about a half of an inch wide. Let me just get my scissors. I'm just going to put two pieces on this one. And I want that, yeah, I want that like that. Kind of centered, but not really. Just going to add just a little bit of liquid glue to give me some wiggle room. Doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room, but it gives you enough. There. Just like that. Now, to figure out how I want this to be. I was thinking I want it kind of off. Yeah, I like that. All right, so I'm just going to glue this down, and I only need to glue down this portion. I want it off of this a little bit. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit down here on these leaves. And then these will just kind of hang off the edge, but I'm going to put a little foam circle underneath the blue flower, just to give it a little bit of extra sturdiness. Just like that. Now for some embellishments, I am thinking of my stickles, a twinkle color, because they are blue. And I want to do that on the darker colored ones. Let's see if we need it on the lighter color ones. Get my little stipples brush. Yes, I'm going to do it on the lighter ones too. It just is so pretty. Of course, anything stickled is pretty. And I chose the twinkle because it has a blue sheen to it. There. Now I'm going to add a few little rhinestones. And I've got some options. I have some real pale blue that are so pale blue they look almost white. And then I have these Aurora Borealis sheen ones. And I'm thinking I like, no, I like the pale blue ones. This one is just, it has a little bit of pink in it. And I don't want the pink. I just want to stick with the blue today. So I'm going to put some of these down. And they're all various sizes in here. And get them turned over. I like that layout. All right, so I'm just going to get a little bit of my liquid glue here. Move these out of the way. Now, when I first put these down and you see them on camera, it's going to look milky behind them, and that's because the glue is white, but it will dry clear. So when it's clear and dry, you won't be able to see the milkiness behind it. Well, come on. Sometimes you have to rub the tip of your wax pencil to make it work. Okay, and that is my card for today. I don't know if you can see how sparkly the stickles made those flowers look. And you can see the silver of my gel pen. And then on the inside, you've got this beautiful flower. I think I will color that, but I'll color that offline. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.